I hope you're doing well today. I have an awesome and phenomenal here with us today to learn about the phenomenal opportunities with Mayer Medical Coding Education. We have on the line with us Mr. Terrance Meyers. Terrance, how are you today?
Hello, hello. Good morning, Jeffrey, and I'm doing well. Thank you for having me and for the brief intro. And for everyone else watching and listening, I am Terrance Meyers, the CEO and head instructor of Meyers Medical Coding Education. I'm feeling blessed and well, and I'm glad to be here right now.
Terrence, thank you for joining us this week, man. And I'm really interested to learn more about like who you are and how can you come to phenomenalness?
Uh, Absolutely, and I'll be happy to share. Most of my friends call me TJ, right? So I operate as the head instructor, and most of my students are comfortable enough to call me by my initials, which is TJ. And it wasn't always a dream for me to work in the healthcare industry. I always dreamed to be a baseball player and play for the Major League Baseball Association. When that childhood dream didn't work out as planned, I had to quickly pivot, and with the guidance from my parents, they guided me in the direction of healthcare, where I was able to study healthcare administration at a private institution named Monroe College. So shout out to Monroe College for introducing me to medical coding. And once I learned about medical coding during my college days, I grew a passion for it. And this was in 2009. I graduated with my associates in applied science, where I was able to learn the basic components of, using a computer, using Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and I continued on to pursue my bachelor's of in healthcare administration in 2011, and once I had my bachelor's, I was able to start applying for jobs and in the healthcare industry. And unfortunately, even though having the bachelor's degree, there were some barriers to employment because I didn't have any experience. So, coming out of college with a bachelor's degree and zero experience is pretty challenging to get a rewarding career. However, I was able to work my way up with adding the medical coding certifications, and that was able to it allowed me to grow, within the healthcare industry. And I have now over 10 years of experience with three active medical coding certifications. And I got my first certification in 2015. And it wasn't until then when I started to make over 60K. And for me, it was a huge jump, right? Because I went from making the minimum pay back in 2000, in I would say 2011 when I graduated. I was working as a file clerk, earning about $14 an hour. So for me to jump from $14 an hour to a salary making over 55K to 60K was pretty significant increase for me. And it's not something that it's a process that you have to trust. It comes over time, right? You have to trust the process, gain the experience, work your way up. And I look at the certification as an added value. It will boost your employability in terms of making yourself more attractive to the employers. And right now, there's a huge shortage of certified medical coders, and it's a industry that it's continuing to grow. And I'm just happy to be able to share my experience with everyone, and the rewarding potential that you can possibly earn in this career field. Yeah, thank you for having me. This is super exciting for me.
Excellent. So, Terrence, what type of certifications do you offer with the Myers Medical Coding Education?
So I offer two certification courses. The first certification, which is the first certification I started with, is called the CPC certification. It stands for a Certified Professional Coder. And this certification is perfect for entry level medical coders who are looking to get their foot in the door. It's considered the core credential. It takes about 16 to 20 weeks to prepare for the exam. And the AAPC administers the exam, and me as an AAPC approved instructor, it gives my students a 80% pass rate. So that is something that many of my students have to their advantage for sure. So the CPC certification is a core credential that you can start with for entry level, and the CRC, which is the Certified Risk Adjustment Coder, focuses on risk adjustment coding, which is essentially the future of coding, where providers and health systems are able to be incentivized for reporting these chronic conditions for patients, who need the care. The CRC certification less time. The duration is a total of 40 clock hours. The average time it takes for a student to complete the CRC training would be about 12 weeks, 12 to 16 weeks, depending on your level of education and experience in the field. But the average person can complete the CRC training in 12 to 16 weeks. And the CRC is also considered a core credential where you can have either or. You can start with either credential, and the average starting salary for both is over 55K, depending on your market, depending where you live, and your years of experience and level of education is also a factor.
That is phenomenal. So for some of these open positions for both the CRC and the other certification, are most of those opportunities remote and hybrid?
So, roughly 47% of healthcare business professionals, aka medical coders, right? This is the business of medicine, work remotely, and they earn an average of, as I mentioned, depends on your market. But if we're talking about Connecticut, which I love to target because this is where I live and reside, right? The earning average salary in Connecticut for coders working remotely is $69,000 a year, and this
Wow.
is reported by the Department of Labor and Statistics, and it's also on the AAPC's website at aapc.com. So I like to check the facts, do a fact check. I can speak from my experience. All of this data really reflects rewarding careers that I can see a lot of vacant opportunities, especially in Connecticut.
Phenomenal, Terrence, and thank you so much for the work that you're doing in our communities. But I have a question for you. So, how much are the associated costs for both of your programs?
So the total tuition cost for the CPC certification is $24.99, and that includes the cost of your books. It includes your AAPC membership, which is needed in order to register to sit for the exam. It
Hmm.
includes also the cost for your exam, which is oftentimes not included when you attend many other local college and universities. Right? So it includes everything you need to prepare for the exam and take the exam. Another additional benefit in the training program is job placement assistance, right? So, giving my experience in the field and still working as an active coder, I'm able to have a large network of recruiters and physicians who I work closely with who are always looking to hire certified medical coders. So, that gives me a path to provide job placement assistance for my top students. That is something that is also included in the total tuition cost. So $24.99. Is it worth a career making over 55K is the question, right? And the starting salary, considering the average pay for other careers, 55K, above 55K is a pretty good start, right? And once you gain years of experience, your earning salary will continue to grow, right? It will continue to grow. I have three certifications, and I can tell you it has allowed me to make six figures working as a consultant, working as a instructor, right? So these certifications offer the flexibility to work remotely. Once you have those years of experience, you're able to work sometimes 100% remotely. But there are some hybrid positions where you're able to work some days in the office and some days from home. There are many employers who have that work flow in place. So it's really up to the individual if they prefer to work 100% remotely or hybrid. But those opportunities are available and in Connecticut.
Excellent. So, Terrence, which is really interesting is that you have a career that's flexible. You basically manage your own work-life balance, and with a phenomenal starting salary. Why aren't more people interested in becoming a medical billing and coding?
And that is a great question. And there's more than one answer, but I can say the number one answer in my experience is the lack of job awareness, right? The lack of training opportunities, right? And not just training from anyone, right? At MMC, I provide the highest quality training. And for me, that is a huge advantage, right? In being able to share my story and my experience. And it's something that the people are able to connect with me, especially representing the underserved populations, right? And this is a rewarding career path that I hope that more people will join. And with your help and partnership, I'm looking forward to sharing this information with everyone, because the future of healthcare is in medical coding, right? Especially with the use of AI and technology, right? It's only going to eliminate the burden for medical coders and allow us to be more productive. And I can see the job growth continuing to increase year over year for sure.
Absolutely. And you actually touched on something I really wanted to ask, and that's in regards to community. We have a lot of individuals that come to Connecticut that are from different parts of the world. If you're training actually in different languages, or how do you mitigate some of those ESL barriers?
And that is a good point that you bring up. Oftentimes, there are students who English is a second language for them. And I can say that I have trained students who where English is a second language, and there are sometimes language barriers, but it doesn't stop the person from being able to learn, right? It doesn't stop the person from being able to learn. I teach the classes in English as and the language of medical coding, right? It's translating a medical record into an alphanumeric series. So if you're working in the United States, the medical records are in English, right? So you have to be able to review that medical record and understand that language. But I would love to be able to train someone who is fluent in multiple languages so that they can become an instructor and join me, right, in my mission in training the next generation of certified medical coders, because I would love to be able to offer this training in other languages, especially in Spanish, because of the high population we have in the not only African American but Latino communities as well. There are many people interested in this career path, and I don't think language should stop someone from learning a new career or even pursuing a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. That is a good point that you bring up.
Yep, absolutely. So I have another follow-up question, and that's regards to your training. Is it fully remote, or do you have some in-house opportunities? Like, what's the secret sauce?
So currently, all of my classes are remote due to the demand or the request by the people. There are more people who enjoy the flexibility of being able to connect virtually, and it also allows me to connect students from other cities. Right? So oftentimes, I have a virtual classroom setting with students from North Carolina. I have students from New York, students from Connecticut, and it really allows everyone to connect and also network at the same time. My goal is to have a physical presence here in Connecticut, right? That is my vision for Myers Medical Coding Education. It will take some work, but I can see MMC having a physical presence in Connecticut within the next 3 years for sure. There are some students who do request in person training, right? And there are opportunities where working with different organizations, especially nonprofit organizations, who are willing to work with me and partner with me to be able to provide that office space or classroom space for students who are interested. If the individual is interested in learning in person training opportunities, stay tuned because there are more training opportunities for in person coming soon in a city near you, in town near you.
I like it. That's a great tag. That's a great tagline. And one question that I do see in this small chat is that how do can an individual that doesn't have enough income apply for your courses?
So I am currently working towards becoming WIOA approved,
We all approve, guys. Yep.
right? And once that happens, it will open the door for students to be able to apply for financial aid. Unfortunately, the total, not unfortunately, but the total tuition cost is actually under 3,000. So what I currently do is offer payment plans for students who are unable to afford it. For students who have zero income, what I do is oftentimes give away free books. And Jeffrey, you can attest to seeing me at career fair events, and there are many students who I've actually delivered books to in person in Connecticut who simply couldn't afford it, and that is something that I'm looking to raise more funds to help people who are unable to afford the cost of books, who are unable to afford training, who are unable to afford not just any training, but you want to train with a provider who is currently active in the field and has over 8 years of experience, and that is no other than myself. For those students who have zero income, I would say do not let that deter you from enrolling, right?
Mhm.
Because I do keep track of those applications, and whenever I have opportunities or grant opportunities, I do provide free books and in hopes to help those individuals out. So that is a good point, but I'm looking forward to partnering with more nonprofit organizations to help those individuals in need for sure.
Awesome, man. So I do got one more last follow up question. So if I am a small business owner and I'm looking to partner with Myers Medical Coding Education, how can I get in contact with you, man? How can we work together?
Oh man, I'm really easy to find. If you don't see me in Waterbury or in Connecticut at a career fair event, you can easily contact me via email, which is info@myersmedicalcoding.com. You can also reach me at the office, which is 203-706-9767. And I'm always willing to help and offer free consultations, which is also a great benefit, right? If you just want to learn more about the training opportunities, schedule a free consultation. Give me a call at the office, shoot me an email. I'll be glad to schedule a free consultation via Zoom or Teams, and I'm happy to share and help you learn more about the rewarding opportunities that are out there in the business of medicine.
Terrance, thank you so much for joining us on our HIRUS Level Up podcast. And I can't wait to see how you continue to grow.
Yes, yes, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having us. And MMC, Meyers Medical Coding Edu, we provide the highest quality training. Have a blessed
Check it out, everyone. You heard the plug here first, all right?
day. Us
Thank you
online,
guys so much.
MyersMedicalCodingEdu.com. That's MyersMedicalCodingEdu.com.
Much, Terrance.
Take care.